Oh, hey, fellow artists, it's Ros and Laura here. Today, we are chatting about the one thing that will change everything in your art business so you can hop in the fast lane and prioritize what matters most. Whether you're brand new to selling your work or you've got art biz growing pains, this one is for you.
Welcome to the Paint, Rest, Repeat podcast with Ros Gervais and
Laura Day, where we chat about our creative lives as artists while keeping it real and a little bit messy.
we're here to inspire creatives just like you to push past those boundaries and make art that you love. Let's dive in.
Hi, Laura, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you, Ross?
I'm all right. I'm really tired. I slept so badly last night.
Yeah, I slept badly too.
What's with that?
What is with that? The
Actually,
moons?
I was just going to say, have you checked the moon movements?
Is it the moons? Maybe.
Totally.
Uh,
Keep chatting for a second. I'm going to check my moon calendar while you're talking.
okay. Well, we've got a amazing episode for you today. I'm actually really excited to record this episode. We've been planning it out just before, and I we're gonna have a teaser because if you've
It's
read the
fun.
title of the episode,
Yeah.
it's probably sparked some curiosity.
Yeah. Are you curious? Well, what do we call it? We called it
The one
this
thing.
will change everything in your art business.
Yeah, the one thing. What
Hey,
is the
by the
one
way,
thing?
sorry, just back to the moon for a second.
Mhm.
It's a new moon around now.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Is that right?
Usually it's the full moon that like keeps me up, and I have restless nights. But maybe we've swapped to the new moon now.
I know not. And also, people who are listening, listeners, this is coming to you from the past. So it's probably the
Yeah,
new
you might get
moon while you're
confused if we're
listening.
like talking about like different moon cycles.
Yeah. Suggested for us. Anyway, so yes, we are going to keep it a little bit sort of curiosity led today, but we have a really golden sort of nugget, I suppose. I really don't like that expression, but to share towards the end, that's going to really, really help you in your art businesses. So we wanted to sort of start, I think, Laura, by talking about our journeys and our goals at the very start of our art businesses. And then some of the challenges and all the things we tried and essentially failed with.
Mm.
Mm.
So shall you backtrack? Like, do you want to share like a little bit about why you started your art business, why it was important to you, and like, yeah, just like maybe just go back to those initial stages and like the things that you maybe have tried.
Yeah. So for me, way back when I started to paint and sort of take my art a little bit more seriously, I was teaching part-time and I had two young kiddos. And for me, my goal was to turn that hobby essentially into a career so I could quit teaching. So I could be around my kids a bit more. My eldest is neurodivergent, so I also wanted to be around to help her to transition into school and all of that. So that was my why and that was my mission. So it was money based. Like I needed to make enough money from my art to be able to quit my job. So it was definitely in that business space. That was it for me. But for you, you've been arting for a lot longer, haven't you?
Yeah, well, like ever since I left school, like I went on and did training. So I did like a visual arts diploma, and then I studied graphic design, and then I also did a major in printmaking. But that drive to follow a creative path was always there for me. But it took a lot of figuring out on like how I was going to make that work. And it was almost like, I don't know, like a bit of a rebellious streak for me because I'm like, I'll show them because
Yeah.
I didn't have people around me in my life that really modeled what a successful creative career was. And so, yeah, I was sort of the odd one out in my family. I didn't grow up in a household of creators or anything like that. And everyone had like really working class careers or, sensible like corporate careers. And a lot of my friends and peers all were going into like in quotation marks sensible jobs, and I was an interesting creative person. So for me, I guess I was working like part-time whilst I was studying, and so I worked in retail for many years part-time. And then yeah, I ended up in a like quite toxic work environment, and it wasn't fun for me. And my creativity wasn't being utilized at all. And I got to a point where I was like, oh my gosh, like I've got so much talent and skills that I'm not utilizing. Like I'm so meant for more than just, selling clothing. And yeah, so I quit my job and I started my business back in 2010, and I did some small business training. And yeah, I have just been making it work ever since then.
Yeah, and so it's been your job and your income since
Mhm.
that point, right? Since you left
Mhm.
the retail sort of setting.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was always those side gigs that were sort of supporting my creative practice, but then COVID changed everything. So
Hmm.
then that was like really the big turning point for me to like really take it seriously and get into private practice, and then also, yeah, just make income from workshops and teaching and mentoring, and then yeah, also my art. So it was
Yeah.
all like creating all of those different income streams. And yeah, I think that picture might look similar for a lot of artists out there and our audience talking to them. I know, Ros, with your mentoring, you always talk about those multiple income streams. And yeah, we just try all of these different things and shift and change and see what sticks.
Because, that's the thing. Sorry, I'm just sitting here. We're talking about the start of the journey, and then we're talking about where we are now. And what are all those things, that we have tried between then and now to make an income out of our art, essentially. That's what I wanted to sort of touch on next, because I feel like this is going to be relatable for a lot of our listeners, things like sharing this stuff on socials and being met by crickets, or sharing your stuff on socials and realize that all of your followers are other artists. I know that's a bugbear for a lot of my clients, things like that we've tried and just not really gotten particularly far. Is there anything else that you'd share on that list as well?
I think a huge part of my journey was like getting the confidence.
Mm.
So like building that inner confidence and really building on my belief in my own personal value and what my art, like how my art brings value to the world. And even like in terms of like my creative workshops and things like that, like how all of my different offerings bring value. And it took a long time to sort of build that inner resilience and strength, and even just confidence, like to show up like face to camera as well. Like maybe people are stumbling onto this podcast and they're like, oh, that Ros and Laura, they're like really quite out there and outgoing. And it didn't start off that way at
and
all.
And the same here, actually, literally 2 days ago, someone in my local community said, "Oh, Ros, I've been listening to your podcast. You're a natural." And I'm thinking, no, not really. Like, we've just been doing it a long time. But you know what? You just given me a flashback, by the way, to my very first live, which was so embarrassing. And I deleted immediately afterwards. Do you remember your first one?
Oh,
On socials, I mean.
yeah. I don't know. I don't even think I remember. But
Mine was evidently so traumatic that it's stuck in my head.
I did a personal development program in COVID. And so it was a small group container and it was about showing up. And so I did some face to camera. So it was sort of in like a closed, like supportive community. And so I sort of got a little bit of a taster from the showing up there. And then when we connected for the podcast, I think that's when my confidence sort of grew. And so that's a thing. Like, I guess, what we're talking about here is like it takes practice to show up.
And to
And
build that confidence piece.
yeah, the more that you do it, the more you can like shift and refine, and maybe you can analyze like what you liked about it, what you didn't like, what you'd do differently. And so, yeah, whenever we're trying anything new, it's always good to like treat it as an experiment and just put it out there. And then, you can shift and change. Like if that tactic didn't work, then you could think about ways that you would do it differently if you did it again.
My brain's just sort of pinging now as you, all the
Mm,
ideas going.
mhm.
Yeah, okay. So for you, it was largely that confidence piece that felt a bit tricky, the visibility related to that as well. I mentioned that social media, when you're trying all those things in your art business and then it's sort of just falling flat because you're in the early days and you're also missing that one thing that's going to change everything in your art business as well, that we're going to talk about really soon. Did you want to mention anything else in that space? I mean, you had the confidence, maybe the overwhelm as well, because there's so many strategies out there about how to sell your art and how to increase your visibility and all of that, and it can feel a bit stressful.
Yeah, of course. And when we're feeling like tired, or we're just a bit lacking clarity, or we don't really know what we're doing, and yeah, there's lots of things that can pile up in your mind, and that inner critic can like really get its hooks in. But yeah, I think that you know, having that unified um, like vision, or goal, or the outcome, I think that that is what sort of can help you to like have that vision, towards like the bigger picture of like how this business is going to work for you.
Yeah, so the
Um,
clarity as well and the direction and then the efficiency as well in your pathway.
mm,
If you know where you're heading, and you know the strategy piece of how to get there, it's going to be a
yeah.
lot faster.
But you don't come out of the gate knowing sometimes,
No.
because this business is like so diverse, and you can follow so many different paths. So it can almost be that's the overwhelming part too. It's
Mm.
like, oh, well, I can do art prints, or I can do teaching, or I can do the gallery route, or
Or you
I
could
can
teach
do
art
art
prints.
fairs.
No.
Well, yeah, you could do that. Um, there really is like, it's like choose your own adventure, really.
Yeah. And yeah, you're going to make me want to jam on this particular topic now, Laura, because yeah, it's very true, but you do still need that direction. And then you try the thing on and then
Hmm.
you reflect and then you
Yeah.
see if you need to, adjust your direction a little bit,
Yeah.
which
Well,
we've
that,
both done a lot of.
we've done a lot of that
Yeah,
over the years.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
for
mean, I've
sure.
talked about it before on the podcast. I've tried all of the school holiday programs and the after school programs and teaching kids, and it's just not for me. But then some people really thrive in that environment too. So, yeah, it's a lot about learning about yourself. But there is still that one thing that
Mm.
we've been alluding to.
Do let us know. Do you want us to tell you at this point? Send us a DM. Let us know. Are we
Because it
stringing this
really
out
did,
too
like,
much?
I know, maybe we are.
Are we? But are we? DM us. Let us know. So we've mentioned, I'm just going to check our checklist because I have a mind map in front of me. So we've mentioned
Mhm.
the overwhelm piece. We've mentioned the confidence piece. Related to overwhelm, just wanted to drop in 3 words: shiny object syndrome, that one as well. Yep. Seeing all the things, wanting to do all the things, try all the things, and then the audience struggle as well, which sort of relates to the
Yeah.
social media thing I mentioned
Hmm.
before, just not having people engaging or seeing all the magic that you're bringing to the world through your art. And so sort of feeling like that energy is sort of wasted, really.
Hmm.
But the thing that we realized, like in retrospect, looking back all these years later, the thing that we realized that really changed everything in our business and businesses and made the difference, it's like the ultimate X factor, was, do you want to say, Laura?
Oh, we're really teasing this out, aren't we?
Go say, you can say. I just didn't want to steal the limelight. I felt bad. Go, your turn.
you don't have to do this alone. So community and mentorship, we both agreed on this. Like this has been, you know, the biggest game changer in and still to this day. Like it's not like it's, you know, this we yeah, it's still evolving and still to this day, the key thing that has helped propel our businesses forward.
Can I interject and be annoying? I've got a question on that because I thought it was interesting. You said you don't have to do it alone. Do you think that you also can't do it alone? I'm just curious, like on a topic to jam.
You can't do it alone.
Yeah, do you reckon? I don't actually think you can be in an art business for very long alone, solo.
No, yeah, no. Because like you need connections, you need networks, you need support, you need guidance, you need that community and mentorship. Like you need to be with your peers and you need to be supported by people that have like treaded the path before.
Especially, I'm just having moments as well, thinking, especially if you're working from home, and you're by yourself in isolation, that's not good for anybody. I feel like you actually can't do it alone. And you need it's almost like a basic need actually for community.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like some people think like, oh, if I just do this other course or just do this strategy and change things up, or I need to buy this fancy tech tool like to help me. I feel like getting in on the ground, like nurturing like your peers, your other artist friends, getting yourself in rooms with like other people that are making things happen for their creative business, learning specific skills from artists and mentors that are doing the thing that you want to do, but they're maybe like 2, 3, 5 years ahead of you. Those are the things that like turn the needle forward. Instead of you sitting there questioning yourself and saying, oh, I posted this one thing on Instagram and I'm getting crickets. Like your networks is where you're going to get referrals. Your peers are going to recommend like galleries that you should approach, or techniques that you should try, or maybe they've developed like a print range, or they've done something on their website that you're like wanting to implement on yours. Like there's so much information out there and so much growth potential when you're around a group of people that are doing the thing that you want to do, or sort of the same, working in the same circles and spheres.
Yeah, and once you find your true people, people who have the same values as you, so people who are happy to share, and people who are in that space of, believing that a rising tide lifts all ships, that whole thing. Once you're in that space and you've found people like that, that's when everything changes. Quite genuinely, it really, really is. And I think, we've been doing this for, a fair while now, and we've had the challenges and we've had all the bumps and we've had all the hurdles, and that both of us agreed is like the overarching non-negotiable factor if you want to be selling your art and making money through your creative business for more than a couple of years, basically.
Yeah
For the long haul, you need this aspect.
Yeah, because you're around people that get it. Like they totally understand that this is a roller coaster, and they've probably tried all of the things too, and they've learnt from their experiences, and they'll be able to share insights and connections and things like that. And I think when you're around people that are in the same sphere as you tend to like take bold steps, and you have accountability, and you can talk to them about your challenges, and you might not be second guessing your decisions because they're backing you.
You feel safe.
You
feel
do.
safe.
Yeah.
You feel like, I was going to say held. Gosh, that's an intense word. But you feel safe. You feel safe enough to take those risks, and brave enough because you've got people in your world that will support you basically no matter what, and that makes a really, really big difference. I was just thinking, I know we've got to wrap up fairly soon, but I thought we should share just maybe 3 key ways to find that community. If you don't have a community around you or a mentor or anything like that, maybe we can share 3 key ways to do that before we wrap up the episode.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
we're just sort of winging it here?
Um,
Local art center or community art center, I would say, in person if possible. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it definitely, I mean, coming from, I built the majority of my creative career in Ballarat. Like, I mean, I started off, well, I studied in Queensland, moved back to Melbourne, and then it was only really like embedding myself within the creative community in Ballarat that I was able to make so many connections and networks, connecting in with council. If you've got a local council that's really supportive of the arts, yeah, that's going to help you to make connections. It'll help with professional developments. Usually, sometimes, like, yeah, they've got educational programs. They might connect you in, like, especially if you're teaching workshops, like, you're creating like a service for the community. So, they'll want to get you involved. And yeah, I think going local is a really incredible place to start.
Yeah, so local community council. I wrote down art societies as well. If you have one near you, that's a good way to connect in.
Mhm.
But then there's also the online space. So there's a lot of free communities that you can be a part of, or there's also paid groups as well, paid memberships and masterminds. I have one of those. Just saying. Or you could also go and do like an art retreat
Oh, in Vietnam, would you
in Vietnam.
say?
Let me wait, hold on, let me just check my moon chart. I'm calling it in around March 2026. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great way to connect with like-minded women and like creative people that love art just as much as you do. I've had a lot of people that are in creative businesses as well. So it's really nice. Like, we had a diverse range of ages of the women too. It was really nice, like, to sort of like see the different women's perspective on life. But then also they had that unifying like belief. They were interested in their growth. They wanted to connect with their authenticity. They love travel and exploring new things, gaining new inspiration and things like that. So like a beautiful thing happens in that environment. And actually three of our retreat past attendees like caught up in Melbourne and went to the gallery. So like you make lifelong friends and connections. It's just a beautiful thing. And I love holding space for women to connect and, dive deep and really explore themselves through creative expression. It's a really beautiful thing.
And
Um,
it is a factor there. I live in Sydney, in New South Wales, Australia, and I don't have that many in-person creative artistic friends. It's just not something in my area, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So making in-person connections with other people who have that similar, creative streak is really, really, really sort of like coming home, I suppose, finding
yeah.
your people.
Yeah. And we're craving it more and more, I feel like, because COVID changed a lot and like things went online and
Mhm.
the online connections are brilliant. Like I've got lots of connections just from the internet. Like, I mean, we do this podcast.
I was going to say,
This is how we
you met a
connected.
really
Like,
nice person online called Ros.
yeah. And then we collaborated and like turned it into this amazing like podcast that, we're talking to you through the airwaves or
Yeah.
actually how is this
Internet
microphone?
waves,
Oh, we're gonna like
the
go on
internet
like a
waves.
whole other sidetrack here. The internet
But,
waves.
overarching the message with this particular episode is to lean into community. So, right from the
Yeah.
get go, say yes to opportunities for networking, for community, for meeting other creatives in person, online. Just say yes and hold those relationships really close because that's
Yeah.
what's going to be the number one thing that is going to take you the distance.
Can,
Um,
can can I drop in here
yeah.
too? The difference between like your peer support and then also mentoring and coaching and working with someone that has like treaded the path or that can help you up level to the next level of your business. So you are taking intake for your mastermind, Ros. So this is like the next level. So like, you might get beautiful community and support from like people that are sort of at a similar level to you. And then, you have your community of artist friends that get it. But then there's also the next level in business, and where you're in a space where people are growth orientated, they're really focused on clarifying their goals, they're ready to like take next steps, and they really want to like monetize what they have created with their creations. And so
the action takers, with a
yeah,
fire in their belly, because that is a different little sector of community, isn't it? But yeah, that's true. So I do have enrollment is likely to, well, not likely, sorry, but I might have a few spots still in my Thrive Mastermind, potentially. So go and have a look if you are interested in checking that out. It is a small group program, so it's very high touch, and personalized strategy in there as well. But yeah, go and check that out. It's at permissiontopaint.co/thrive. It used to be known as VIP, but it has been sort of had gone through a little bit of a, what do you call it? It's not just a rebrand. It's like a little bit of a redesign and a rebrand, and it's now called Thrive.
Yeah, amazing. So if you're looking for like guided support and, to be in rooms of like people that are like actually making things happen, and in those containers, it's really amazing because someone will come with a problem or like a roadblock, and you might be experiencing the same thing. So then, you are sort of learning like alongside them, and it's really, lots of growth can happen in those spaces. So that's really amazing. And Ros is amazing at what she does. So, of course.
I'll let her know. Thank you. That's very nice. Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, just having those believing mirrors around you and like those people around you who reflect back your potential, especially when you can't see it yourself, like, because there's moments, like there is big moments, and we've done that for each other. Even today, Ros, before we started recording, like we've done that for each other. So if you can find those people, that is just going to shift things in leaps and bounds for you in your art business.
Yeah, for sure. Before we wrap up, retreat, have you still got early bird bookings?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. I actually was going to jump in with that. The early bird is actually ending. So I know a few people making a decision to go on a retreat is a pretty big deal. Like you're leaving your life, you're leaving your responsibilities for a whole week, and it's international travel too. So, some people are, hesitant about flying solo, and some people they will be missed in their lives for a week, but it's really important to like take that time out for yourself. So I know people are circling around their decision, and it is like it's not something that you decide on a whim.
Although it's uncomfortable sitting on top of that fence, Laura, just saying.
Yeah, because I know
the pokey bit sticking into your bum,
Yeah, your heart is saying yes, but then, your mind is saying no. And, like I know from experience, like these women like leave totally different people. So if you're ready to like have that like change in yourself, then definitely follow that call of your heart. But the early birdie is ending. So if you're wanting to get the special ticket price, definitely jump onto the website and reserve your spot. I actually don't know how many tickets are left at this point because we're recording this in the past, but it ends at the end of the month, end of July.
And question, people don't have to pay the whole amount up front, right? It's just a deposit for a holding position?
Yes. Yeah. So you pay your deposit. That reserves your room, and then I do have payment plans. So yeah, it just depends whether you want to just drop the whole amount after you reserve your room, or whether you would like to go on a payment plan. But any questions, just send me a message. I'm on Instagram. You should know where to find me by now. Links are in the podcast show notes, and my website is laurajaneday.com/retreat if you're interested.
And is tax deductible generally?
Yes, you can claim that on your business because it's professional development. Yeah.
Always check with your accountant, but it should be fine for Australia at least.
I'm assuming that's worldwide. It's definitely, professional development opportunity for business. So, like you said, check with your accountant.
Check
just
with
to
your
cover
accountant.
our backs. But
we are not
all of those
registered
amazing
accountants.
things.
We
we're
need
not.
that, the little line that you say really, really fast. We are not registered accountants. We always check with you. Something like that.
And so, with your Thrive Mastermind, just quickly, who is the type of person that is signing up for that?
Oh, good question. So Thrive is for, I am calling it, motivated artists who want to turn their creativity into consistent income. So generally speaking, artists that come and join Thrive already have a sense of their style. They've got a style sorted for their art, generally speaking, and they've had some sales, and now they're seeking that consistent income. So that's really the description. If you're a little bit left, right of that, just send me a DM and we can chat. I am very open about whether people are not the right fit, because I am all about results and I really respect that. So if you're not, I will tell you, but you can, reach out and we can chat.
Yeah, amazing. Did you want to drop in that you're potentially doing something else?
I don't know. I'm also aware of time. I feel like we've gone over time, but I'll mention I might be running, maybe, possibly thinking about running a boot camp, a low ticket boot camp around art businessy stuff. Maybe on the week of, looking at my calendar over here, on the week of the 28th of July. Maybe. So check my socials.
Cool. So that's like just over a week. And I guess, jump on Ros's mailing list if you want the specific details. But I'm sure you'll be sharing it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Should I do it? I should do it just anyway. Just do it.
Well, this is an example of just throwing it out there, planting the seed and like trying it. So this is what you do. This is what you do in art business. Like, you shift and evolve and try the thing. So just keep doing it, peeps. Keep on keeping on.
Laura, you also had a bad night's sleep, didn't you? So we're both actually
I know. We're a little bit delirious.
But we figure after all these years of podcasting, you'll just take us as we are.
Right? Yeah. A little bit messy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That used to be the intro to the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, since we're just chatting at the end of this episode, do you like our new intro to the podcast? Let us know. Send us a DM.
Yeah. And of course, like, let us know how you found this episode. We love hearing your feedback. And if we gave you any new aha moments or anything, just let us know.
Sharing your stories, tag us, send us a message through, what is it? I'm going to say ERT. ESP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Lovely. Well, great episode. I actually really enjoyed recording this one today. I think, I think it's like one of the biggest and best lessons from like overarching through my creative career. So, yeah.
Yay. All right. Well, thanks for the chats, Laura, and thank you for tuning in to everyone else. And we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.